No fucks given. Nobody's gonna rain on that parade.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
The music's more important than anything.
That's right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the evening roast. And I'm, of course, your host, Sugar Chris. And with me, as always, is my favorite Canadian, Mr. Sim.
Hello and welcome everyone to the evening roast.
And our guests today are Mr. Scott Payne.
Everybody.
And Mr. Alex Dawe.
What up, world? Excited to be here. I am.
Yeah. And they have projects up of Chaotic Flux and Zinner Master the Mind. And Mr. Alex Dawe, you are new to the channel and new to me, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Like I said, I'm excited to be here. This is my first time on the show. I'm excited to share Xenia with you guys and get to know you guys a little better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about doing these interviews. I get to meet all sorts of cool people and talk comics with them.
Oh, we got Mr. Mo Biggs.
Well,
with
hello.
us. Hello, Mo.
What's up, Mo?
Hey Mo.
Hey, Mo.
Did you wrench, Mo?
It should be wrenched.
I hope so.
I'll check. Make sure.
Otherwise, I'm gonna have to kick you in the butt.
Oh, don't start with me, Sim. Come on now. I'm pretty sure I've wrenched Mo.
He goes, yes.
Yes. I see. Look, I just checked. He's good.
We're good. We good.
We're good.
Hey, we almost got riled up, but we're good. We're good.
All right.
At least the stem rage. Gonna compete with Vinny over there.
I am in possession of my rightful wrench. Alrighty.
So which one are we gonna start with?
Which one to start with first? I'm gonna start with the new one. Zenner, Master of the Mind.
Yeah.
All right.
Really, just curious about this one.
Yeah, so
Okay.
what's your pitch, sir?
Well, Xena the Master of Mind is about a psychic Superman archetype character known as Axel Rivera, or Zener, as he's called as a superhero name. And he's got all the psychic powers of the world. The problem is he's trauma in his young age has left him with too fragile a mind and psyche to use him properly. So in a lot of ways, his own worst enemy. And Zener, for this story, tells his origins from the moment he gets his powers to the decision as to why he puts on the costume for the very first time. So it's kind of like a condensed Smallville telling, and it deals with a lot of dark atmosphere. The best way I could put it is what happens when you take an upbeat, morally Boy Scoutish character like Superman and give him a lot of Batman's problems. You know, all the dark-related, messed up stuff that Batman deals with, and you see how it takes a toll on someone like Zener, who's just trying to do good with his powers, but it affects him spiritually, mentally, and psychologically.
Okay.
Crazy.
A psychic Superman with a lot of mental issues.
Yeah. Which is ironic because you need like a strong mind and a brain to use your superpowers, to psychic powers, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So it could cause his powers to go on the fritz.
Yep. And like I said, in a lot of ways, it's his own worst enemy, which is saying a lot because he's the most powerful guy in our universe who's caught in the middle of all these powerful supervillains who either want to destroy him or use him for their own means.
I pity everybody in the mental hospital. How do I knows what he's doing to those poor people?
Well, the thing is, like Zener is actually different from all our heroes. Is that he has the power, but he tries more than anything to help his enemies more than just punch them and arrest them. You know, he's a doctor by nature. He's a psychiatrist, and he knows what a lot of his villains have been through, or a lot of like traumatic experience like he has. And he wants to help them become citizens of society again. So he's a healer by nature. He's not just like a crime fighter like Batman would be, or Daredevil, or a lot more of those Punisher guys, you know?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So he's a man with mental troubles, but he's also a psychiatrist.
Yes. The irony is not lost to us, but that's one of the things we love about it, you know? You know, it's just like
Well, a lot of people will say that Batman is a psychiatrist too, so
Yeah. Yeah, of course. A lot of these heroes would. Let's be
Mhm.
honest.
Mhm.
Like a lot of the you see the,
Yeah, a lot
the
goes
things.
some
These,
crazy stuff.
yeah,
Watching
they do.
girlfriends get killed, wives, whatever else, children.
Yeah, like the whole women in the refrigerator thing that can be tough to go through, and not just for the
Wow.
girl. Not just for the girl.
Wasn't that the entire spin when they first introduced that psych in Batman? What was the name of that guy?
Let's see.
The psychiatrist.
Oh, Hugo Strange.
Oh,
Hugo Strange. Yeah, he
yeah.
was the psych. Yeah, of Batman
Mhm.
or something for a while. That was the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, he was pretty crazy. Right in the middle ward. Crazy
Mm-hmm. It ends up being the big evil mind.
guy.
Mo's posting the link. Thank you, Mo.
Thanks, Mo. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Mo.
Taking
Thanks,
a
Mo.
man like Chris and giving him a soul. No, Mo, why? Gosh dang it, Mo, we're not even talking about that.
Oh, by the way, let's use that little moment to say, please sub, like, and share. And don't forget, when we reach 500 subs, we're giving away an original art by me. And when we reach 1,000 sub, Sugar is going to that Louisiana red dress run, and he's gonna win it for us.
Shaking his head.
Mhm.
Hey, I'm rooting for that.
And he's gonna be there, protected, obviously, right, by Anthony
Right.
Figueroa and Pale Rider.
You
Not saying
know,
what's gonna
Love it.
happen after the run, but you know.
for my birthday, Pale Rider was really nice. It said, "Oh, I'm not going to talk about the red dress stuff for like a whole day or so," and then it didn't matter because you had everybody still talking about it. Everybody else.
At least Pale Rider didn't.
I was like, "Well,
You
I
gotta
give
relive
the
the
guys
memory.
due.
yeah, at least he didn't." But Red and Katie and everybody else made sure to make up for it. And Mo says it makes sense that a man
That's
with
what
mental
friends are
troubles
for.
would take an interest in psychology. Oh,
Yeah, it is. It's one of those situations where when you experience something or like if something affects your mind, and you just become like you just want to know more about it, and eventually it becomes a career for you. It's like something how it affects this life. A lot like how a lot of people and like during this pandemic are now probably taking an interest in the medical field. Because like what's going on. I mean, they want to do something to make sure nothing like this happens again.
Sure.
Nefarious is with us. He says, "Hell yeah, the show's gonna kick ass." Well,
Yeah,
thank you,
yeah.
Nefarious. Mo, I
There you
don't
go.
need your belief. I will
Come on.
destroy everyone.
I want the, and this is gonna be filming. Come on, da, 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 da. Mixed with the Chris de Burgh song.
Just rock it out, brother. Rock it out.
Just remember to shave your legs, and you'll go faster.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Get rid of the wind resistance.
as it works in 40K, say the red ones go faster.
Bob's just joining, going, "What the hell's going on here?"
Chris will run so fast in that red dress that even Judgment itself could catch
Well,
him.
What's happening right now is Mo just came in today and he's replacing Soul Iron.
Hey, Pops.
Roasting
That's
Thank
the
you.
old show.
Good old Pops. What the hell's going on here? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, Pops.
So pops.
I'm sure a lot of people are wondering that at this point, Pops.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'll play your trailer.
Please do. Please do.
Hello.
Is the audio
Can
going?
anyone
Yeah, it's
hear
good.
me?
Yep.
Is anybody there? My name is Axel de Vera. I'm the most powerful being on the face of the planet. I've been captured. My powers have been neutralized. And what they're doing to us, it's unspeakable. If anyone is out there, if anyone can hear me, please help me.
Ooh.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
mysterious yet ominous.
Mhm.
Yeah. Our editor made the video, and I did the voice work for it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
And
Thank
do you
you.
have do you have some page on the campaign?
Yep.
Where are you at with the book?
Where am I at with the book? Like in the like you mean like work wise? Like how is it coming along?
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, we're slowly making progress. Most of our work will become completion once we get the actual funding done. But
Mm-hmm.
we have the scripts in the works. We're pretty much done with the full volume as now. We're just waiting to get that moment to actually start funding the artist for it.
And how many issues do you have planned for this?
Well, this one it's going to be like a full series, but like for this one, it's the origins, so it has 3 issues in it. So it's kind of like a graphic novel. So you get all that in one graphic novel, and the issue 0 is free to read on here. So there's a link up there that takes you to issue 0 that you can actually read, and it'll get you interested in the comic itself.
Mm.
Yeah, the art's really good.
Thank you. That is our artist Juan Palo. He is he's from the Philippines, and he's this amazing artist. He's like a jack of all trades. He can do inks, lines, colors, pencils,
Nice.
even lettering and covers. And we just
That's
really
awesome.
lucked out with him.
Yeah, really. That's cool.
Yeah.
Most of the time you have to get like a team if you don't do it all yourself.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and that's young
Good word
Axel
facts.
lifting an MRI machine.
Thwam.
Get a lot of alliteration in comics.
And how many pages you said there was?
Let's see. For issue 0, there's like 20 pages, but for the full graphic novel, it'll be like 90 pages.
Yeah, I always like to see. Let me scroll up here where you can read so many pages for free as like a sample. That's kind of
Yeah.
nice. Gives
Yeah.
you a good get your feet wet, so to speak.
Yeah, we wanted a way to introduce Zener and build up our audience, and so issue 0 is a really great way to do that. So if you're watching right now, make an issue 0, and it will help your comic a lot. It really helped us build up our audience, and of course, like I said, it's a great way to kind of get into the series without actually giving away too much, and it kind of leaves the readers wanting more.
I've been saying it wrong this whole time. It's Zener. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The name actually comes from an actual test used to discover psychic abilities, like the Zener card test. Like, do you remember that scene in Ghostbusters where Bill Murray's holding up the cards with the shapes to those 2 costumes? Yeah, that's the Zener test. And when we discovered this, we just knew that had to be his hero handle name because
That's cool.
it's
Plus a
simple,
cool
it says
Easter
it, it's dynamic, and it's like. Plus, we could say, "Hey, remember Ghostbusters? This guy was inspired by that."
Very cool. I love that scene too.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Nefarious, roasting Chris about the red dress. Oh yeah, nothing new there. Pops hailing everybody.
Hail.
Hail, Pops.
Zener.
Yeah, Pops has become very familiar with Zener.
Says, I
We
like
have Hex Allen too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that, Mr. Hex.
Hex.
Hey Hex.
Hey, X. Great to see you
What's up,
again.
buddy?
Chaotic Flux. Nice show, Sugar. You're darn right. I'm excited about the next
Thanks,
one.
man.
I really like Chaotic Flux. Traces cauterize the wounds after surgery. Like and share, you know the drill. Hex says he's been pushing this for a while on the tweeter.
Yep.
Can you
Yeah.
just the link down?
Yeah. Hex has been a big help on Twitter.
That says Zener sounds like how Bancroft would pronounce Xena.
That's when I say it out loud. It does sound like that. Now I can never unhear that.
Zener.
Damn, he's got to rebrand the entire book now.
Right?
Thanks a lot, Mo. Thanks a lot.
The first bogan superhero. Oh lordy. You can get it for 25.
Yep, you can get a digital and print copy for $25, which is good if you love reading comics on your tablet or a phone, and you like having the collector's edition of an actual graphic novel in your hand. Which I think
Nice.
there's like a lot of mix of that for now, in this day and age. You know, with the comics being available digitally. Yeah, and like for 35, one of our $35 options is you can get our first book, Empress, to go with your digital and print copy of Zener.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting too how you put the logo at the bottom. You don't see that too often.
Oh, yeah, on the comic? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was an interesting
Okay.
thing we want to try. We thought that was a good way to really do Xener differently, and plus it really works with the cover because you got Xener at the top, so
Yeah,
we
'cause
didn't
that
want to.
trading card effect to it.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
yeah, it does have a trading card to it. It's very nice.
So what's Empress
Or
about?
traditional poster, we have the logo at the bottom.
Yeah. Well, Empress is the story of a evil industrialist, Ursula Nolan, who, after a chance encounter with Mother Nature, gets a second chance at life by becoming her herald and the first superhero of our universe. And she's set to fight all these like very pollution-based natural enemies against Earth. And this is actually the very first series we did, and we're actually going to be giving Empress a slight revamp after Xener. So what's great about this tier is that you can get the first incarnation of Empress, and it'll give you a sort of prelude to like what's to come in her revamp, and you'll be like, oh wow, I have the first volume of this ever, and this will be like a great collector's item one day.
So will Empress be in the same universe as Xener?
Yep, we have a whole like massive universe of superheroes planned, because that's what Energy Comics
Nice.
wants to do, is create the next big superhero universe.
Wow.
Okay.
Awesome,
Always
man.
good to have those kind of ambitions.
Mm-hmm.
And we shoot for the stars, aim big, shoot
Mhm.
big,
Go big or go home.
Yep.
Mhm.
Alternate covers. Let me scroll down so we can see that cover real quick. There we go.
Yeah. And this cover features our main antagonist for the first volume of Xener, Nocturne, who was
I
a
like that
former
design.
corrupt order. Thank you. He's a former corrupt orderly at the asylum where Xener is kept for his young adult life. And something happens that turns him into this shadow manipulating, maniacal psychopath that feeds off the inner darkness of people. So the more he corrupts them, the more stronger he gets.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Is those stitches on it?
Yep, there are
Yeah.
stitches. Yeah, the accident that gave him his powers kind of resulted in him having to be put back together before he transformed.
Crazy.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would kind of mess with you.
Yeah. So as you can see, like a lot of Xener's villains are kind of dark in themselves.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's like one of the things we have planned for a lot of Xener's like superhuman villains is that a lot of them are going to have like a lot of mental issues themselves. So like classic psychopathy or like depression or dissociative identity disorder. Let's see, what's another one? Like stuff like that.
Yeah, I like the idea of putting in mental illness and things like that, and actually taking more of a
Actually, I think
serious stance
it
in that.
reminds me of the what was it? Unbreakable series. There was a lot of mental stuff tied in with that, with how that went down. So it was pretty cool, that aspect, seeing these characters that were, at least with the Bruce Willis character, they thought he was crazy, whereas the other two, pretty much, well, I guess they all thought they were crazy, but especially the what's his name, Sam Jackson character, Glass, he was
Yeah.
definitely like a psycho. But yeah, it was really fun showing that aspect of like, could these guys, had you sit there thinking at first too, on a lot of them, like, are they really crazy a little bit,
Yeah.
but and it was cool too, like seeing how they worked around how they got through that, as far as like, trying to prove that they weren't, but also, I mean, I guess really they didn't ultimately prove that they were, but but they tried their hardest, and then how and then at the end, like, of the series, I'll tell the third movie or whatever, but like at the end, like it was just blown up, like, yeah, these guys actually do have crazy superpowers and they're not nuts, But
Yeah.
I think it's interesting twist on your series where all these people were like in a mental ward and then got superpowers, and how that how that all goes down.
Yeah.
What
But
would
like,
happen? What would happen if these people turned out like that?
exactly.
Mhm.
Like the funny thing is we actually created the characters first. The mental illnesses kind of followed after that once we developed Xener a bit more.
Right.
So
Right.
it's
right.
funny how all this like falls into place, but we're glad
Mhm.
it did,
Yeah, it's pretty cool
And
how it just kind of
yeah.
stacks
Uh,
like very
go ahead,
clever.
go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, so our editor for NRG Comics, Webb, is writing this series. He had the style that I need, and he's a phenomenal writer. He has the ability to plan like huge plot lines out and story arcs, and like he's influenced by a lot of anime, just like we were talking earlier, like specifically Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho.
Hmm.
Yeah, but the one that we like shared together is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I've never actually watched JoJo's. Everybody always talks about it, but I've never watched it.
Yeah, I've
Me
seen
neither.
some of it, but not
it's
that
pretty
much.
outlandish, but that's what makes it awesome.
And let me look here. You got a digital sketch tier here.
Yep, that's one of our options. So, like, it's limited, but you can get a black and white digital sketch of any character you want. It could be real, fiction, a family member, a character of your own design. It'll be drawn by our artist Juan, and that'll be a digital sketch for you. Just use any way you want.
Wow.
No,
Awesome.
I'm curious. Where is one from?
The Philippines.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were gonna, I was gonna get worried if you were gonna say like Brazil again. It seems like everybody's from like Brazil.
Yeah, there was a time
Yeah,
where
that's
like
it.
a lot of artists were from Britain or France too.
I was like, take whatever. Brazil's taking over.
Let's see. And
drawn in tier.
yeah, this is actually one of our tiers that's actually selling out pretty fast. You can actually be drawn into the comic and become part of Xenor's origins, and you will be forever immortalized as a character within, well, as yourself within the comic.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, it's only 10 limited to 10, and 7 of them are gone. So if you want this tier, you better hurry fast.
Yeah, it seems like people really want to get in.
Yep.
It's good.
And let's see. I want to make an announcement right now. I've been promoting this. If we hit 50 backers, one of our lucky backers is going to get a lottery prize of an official like drawn page of the Xener comic, pencils, inks, or something like that, signed, and it'll be a special prize for them. And we'll be applying this to for a lucky backer for every 25 backers we get. So it's a big backer reward we're planning for our campaign.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Pretty cool idea.
Thank you. I want to give a shout out to Pops for that. He helped come up with that idea. You know, he told us about these backer rewards that really work, and he's right, and he's a genius. You know.
Yeah, it's always good to do like backer rewards or stretch goals or things like that.
Yeah.
It helps give incentive in a way to get your backers to go out and promote and spread the word.
Like me, I offered sketch cards for the first 200 backers, and I'm giving away like originals, sketch, concept art, and pages to random backers.
Yeah, it's great. You know, it's like it's a great incentive.
Yeah, because right now it's like I was on the show and somebody's like, "Oh, the shipping's $15." I'm like, "You're getting a sketch card if you're part of the dude. Just 2 posters, 3 stickers, a sketch card. Your shipping's free."
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
We got El Gargo in the chat. And of course,
El Gargo?
an eggplant.
His stamp of approval for the night.
All right, I'll take that as a compliment then.
It is from him. It is
from El Gargo. It is.
Xander has aroused him.
It's like it's like if you would have some what was the name? Wayne's World going swing.
Exactly. I love it.
So we got 8 days left, 42 backers with 40% funded. That's good.
Yep. So we're making progress. We're doing everything we can when you can post it. So if you're listening out there, we really need your support. So give a contribution you can. If not, just spread the word. Just give it to all your friends, family, anyone you have on social media. It would help a lot. So thank you.
Definitely.
And I'm gonna.
Are you still able to extend? And are you going to extend or?
We've already extended. So the big announcement. We've already extended.
Yeah,
So
definitely people like share that out.
Yeah. So he's down to 8 days left. Do be sure to check this out. Yeah. He's still got a little ways to go. But if nothing else, you can always just relaunch again and.
Yep. We have a backup plan, but right now our plan is to make this campaign happen. You know.
Right.
So as part of being in the comic business, you gotta make a backup plan in case your first plan doesn't work.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, a lot of folks' first campaigns, don't work out.
Oh yeah, and we're learning a lot.
Yeah.
We're still trying to find the formula that works for us. I mean, we still have planned to have crowdfunding play a big part in our kind of, I want to say, economy of our comics, but right now we're figuring out where exactly.
hmm
Gotcha.
There you go. Tweeting the campaign.
Thank you.
Yeah. So do go check it out and
He is
read.
on the fixed goal and he's at 40%. So let's try and get him that 60%.
And that's right. Maybe go read this issue 0 for free and see maybe whet your appetite a little. And do a refresh just to get that. There we go. Get that little video out of the way there. Back to its normal icon.
What's up, Mark?
So, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. He says, "What's up, guys?" Oh, not much. We were just checking out Zener.
So, Mark,
Yes.
So give your little speech again for the people that just joined in that you gave at the beginning. Just give that little speech again.
Well, Zener is the story of a psychic Superman type character who has all the psychic powers. I mean, all of them, not just telepathy and telekinesis, but mediumship, dowsing, aura reading, illusion casting. But the problem is trauma within his young life has caused him to have a fragile mind and psyche that makes him his own worst enemy when using his powers. At the same time, he's just trying to use his powers to the best he can, but he's caught in the middle of all these powerful people who want to use him for either their own means or destroy him. And the Zener Volume 1, it tells the origins of this superhero from the minute he gets his powers to the moment he puts on the costume for the first time. And so it's like a very condensed Smallville. And it's basically the idea came from a challenge like what happens if you take an upbeat, moral, the Boy Scoutish character like Superman and give him all of Batman's dark related problems. Every like soul crushing, mind bending, like dark influencing problems that Batman has, and you see how it affects an upbeat moral character like Superman spiritually, mentally, and psychologically.
that was a cool picture. Not gonna lie.
Thank you.
Mhm. So there you go. That's
Sounds
what's
good.
up, Mark.
Exactly,
Go
Mo.
check it out.
Yeah, Mo, that's exactly the truth. Yeah,
Definitely.
none of that. That's one of the reasons we created Zener, because there are lots of psychic powers outside the big two that need to be addressed and shown.
Arguardo says, so he's Legion without the multiple personalities?
I don't really like to compare to like big brand characters unless I have to, but in a way he is. Let's see. I want to say like Legion's powers are a little more out there, is that they're more a variety and not just psychic abilities, but this one is more limited to like what you would find in like psychic TV shows or like supernatural stuff. So like actual psychic power, ESP powers of the mind. So, but if that helps you, if that appeals to you, then yeah, he is like Legion.
Well, what it says in the artwork, what it says to me, he reminds me more like Magneto in the sense where he's able to lift cars and like heavy objects and throw them around, and like that's one of my most favorite powers is Magneto's powers to be able to do that. But if you can do it with mental abilities too, that's really freaking awesome.
That is,
I
that
think.
is, and the funny thing is, like in X-Men's like first class, they kind of had it be like his powers were almost in a mental thing, like that like when like Xavier's talking about the balance between trauma and joy, like with his memories. That's what I liked about it. And I just want to get out there and say Magneto is one of my favorite villains of all time because he's relatable. You can see where he's coming from, and he continually crosses the line between good and evil, and crosses that line. And plus, he's got a wicked design.
Yes.
The red and purple just work. Oh, Mark, emotionally scarred Martian Manhunter is what I was thinking. Only human. Yeah, in a lot of ways, yes. Only just without the shape-shifting and the weakness to fire.
I forgot that was his weakness.
Yeah, a lot of people
Like
do,
Venom.
which I feel like Martian Manhunter is one of those characters I don't feel is shined on enough. But at the same time, his powers are not really set in stone as they should be. And really, like the weakness of fire should be exploited more. I mean, that's an easier weakness than kryptonite.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, anyone can start a fire. Try starting kryptonite.
But it was like the original Green Lantern, yellow.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I always thought was funny in the more extended Superman type shows, like Supergirl, the Supergirl series, and where like they seem to find kryptonite like way more often than you think they should. It's like, come on, guys! You say it's one of the most rare things in the universe, or at least for on
And they
Earth
can
anyway,
make
but
it.
yet they're pulling out their ass all the time.
Yeah.
And they can make it, and then they made a mistake,
Yeah.
and then it had another effect, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
That's why my favorite Superman series will always be the Bruce Timm animated version.
Yep.
Mm.
Because Superman
Yeah.
wasn't all powerful. He still had weaknesses. I mean, notably magic and kryptonite, but also he had foes that could overpower him, or
Mhm.
beings like Toyman who could outsmart him. He even had
Yeah.
new
That's some
characters like
badass fights in that
Livewire
series.
who
Mhm.
showed he had weaknesses to the
No.
elements.
And they also have one of my favorite Superman scene ever in there, when he's facing Darkseid,
Mm.
and he's telling him the story of the paper, the world out made out of paper.
Mhm.
Dude, that fucking line was like, yes. And he goes, now I have it. Now I have a chance to, let go.
I mean, my favorite line will always be where like Superman defeats Darkseid, but his followers still, after everything he does, picks him up, takes him back to the
Mhm.
castle of Darkseid. I am many things, Superman, but here I am God, and that tells you what an influence Darkseid has on his people. And that you cannot find that in any other comic.
Well, he also had the best Batman. Remember that when they were trying to get Superman to go help Darkseid, and he's
Yeah.
like, no, let them die. He goes, no, you can't do that. And Batman comes in and he goes, woohoo, cry me a fucking river.
Kryptonite right there was on Krypton.
Technically, at this point, that's true. Which makes me wonder, if a lot of kryptonite landed on Earth, it could have landed on a bunch of other planets too.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how come we never found kryptonite on Mars, or I don't know,
And-
what's another planet that's
And how come
DC explores?
kryptonite that landed on Earth never gave a human superpowers?
I guess they're not counting Metallo or the Kryptonite
Nobody-
Man.
Yeah, but nobody thought about it that they actually mutated or gave superpowers to a human. No, they power a robot. That's not really giving superpowers to a human.
I think that I remember in the anime universe, Lex Luthor caught radiation cancer
Steroids,
from-
steroid and kryptonite. Yep.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the things they were going for with that. So
Hmm.
that wasn't just it was extremely vulnerable to Superman, but at the same time, it was still vulnerable to humans.
They should probably have done it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. I feel if anyone should write a new Superman story, it should explore that. Hey, maybe that's something you can do, Sim.
Nah. I'm good.
Sim's got enough going on.
Yeah.
He's he's already working on like the next 10 issues of his comic.
Like, dude, I wouldn't lie. Like, I'm a huge freaking diehard fan of Superman since I've been a kid. Right? Like, to me, Superman is like the iconic superhero, the first superhero, in a way, and he's created by a Canadian and an American. So to me, it's like it's super iconic, and I love the character. I would love to get to do like a series one day, right? Not now, not the way the mainstream is, to be honest.
Of course.
But me, if I had to do one chance to do one character, it would be the demon.
Like Etrigan, the rhyming demon.
Etrigan the demon, because I love that character because one, it was Jack Kirby's cooler creation ever since like original and cooler creation. Because all the other things are a bit similar, but they're awesome, like the fourth world and stuff like that. But the demon was totally fucking different, and it touches one of my favorite things since I've been a child and since I've been a kid, the Legend of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table.
Mm.
It's based in it, and I love that to death. And if I'd had one thing to pick, like, hey, you get to pick one. Thank you.
Would you
Storyard.
keep him the classic like unitard and cape look, or would you actually give him the modern armor stuff?
I'd change him up probably a little bit, but I try to respect what he was doing. But yeah, I would revamp his costume a bit. Me, I really like the idea of what he was like in the original
Have-
miniseries. Yeah.
Have you ever done like a fan art, just like your design of him? I think that would be pretty cool if you haven't.
Yeah, I would.
I did do a sketch of it a while back, but I would need to do another one now. Yeah, sure. Hold on.
Do
Let's see
it. Seriously, do it.
I was like, hang on, let me sketch that real quick.
Tim does a design, and suddenly the design is on the next
Right.
next comic.
Nice. Put in the back of the book just for the heck of it. Like
You say that, but it's weird. But yeah, you know, when you do work for a university, sometimes you find your shit in TV shows and movies
Yeah.
and video games.
You've had that experience. Just like
Mhm.
wow.
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
working on that experience, but yeah.
Yeah, check out Deus Ex.
Uh,
What?
Hey, Sim, have you heard of a book called Absolution?
Oh, that's
Have you
really
heard
cool.
of that?
No.
I haven't heard of it.
I haven't heard of it either, but I went to the pawn shop today, and there was issues 0 through
You're
6.
finding comics at the pawn shop? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I never even thought of looking at the pawn shop.
Yeah, you
for
go
comic
buy those
books.
big boxes. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I go to
really
pawn
pawn shop.
shops, I go to auctions, various
Uh-huh.
places. But there was issues 0 through 6, and like half of them are signed. Yeah, there's issue 1.
Wow. Huh.
Dude's arm's broken at the bottom.
Right.
Never heard of that.
Pretty
Sorry.
cool.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it either. But there's like an Asian woman who seems to be a little bit of the TNA.
Huh. A little, was that piggy or something?
Yeah. What is it?
Puppy
Kitty.
dogs,
Kitty. What is it?
kitty cats.
Yellow.
or something.
Yeah, Kitty something.
Almost every
Hello
cover,
Kitty. Hello Kitty.
every cover
Yeah,
has
their
like,
take on
like
it.
a panty
Oh, wow.
shot or something.
Wow, that reminds me of like an anime artwork right there. Like what was that one with I can't remember the name of it. That one with the girl that had like psychic powers, was like making people explode and stuff, and blood would go everywhere.
Akira.
No, not Kira.
Carrie?
No, I can't remember the name of it, man. I think it's on Netflix right now, but I've seen a few episodes of it. But it starts out with this girl with this weird helmet on her head, and she's like locked up in this thing, and it's kind of like where Hannibal was all locked up. 'cause,
Elf and Lead?
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Never heard of it.
Yeah, I've watched it. It's fun.
Pretty cool series. I didn't mean to watch more of it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
had a
always
chance.
getting new books. I got like 12 of them, 12 new books there.
Oh, yeah, I got this today, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Monster MD.
Nice. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people getting it in.
All right, let's see here.
More proof
Most
that
is
he fulfills.
Etrigan.
Afraid.
Only one thing
Yeah,
can solve this mess. Sugar Chris in his hot red dress.
That would be the first case that Etrigan would have to resolve. The mystery of the red dress.
Was the wet dress his?
No.
The
No.
curse of the red dress.
And Elgar's is like hired gun.
Mm.
I don't know.
What do
I
you
don't
mean by
know.
higher gun?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean there, Elgar Gordo. All right, so let's see. Oh gosh, dang it! I didn't want to do that. All right, so I'm gonna jump over now to Chaotic Flux.
I'm not ready.
Oh well, then never mind that. You just
Okay.
got to. We'll just move on.
Oh, already backed it.
Oh,
Damn. Already I'm impressed.
Thank you, bud.
all right. So,
Yeah.
for those who do not know it, how about giving us the pitch, sir?
Will do. The pitch for Chaotic Flux. Chaotic Flux centers on a team called the Crimson Flame, who unite in the future to rid the world of these mutant abominations taking over called Dread Fiends. And the Dread Fiends are a life form made by humanity as a food source in this dark future where resources have become very scarce in the world due to great pollution as well as great wars are going on there where humans are fighting over land and resources. So these creatures are made by splicing different life forms together to create a life form that can sustain itself in the harsh elements, but also reproduce very rapidly. but they actually start to mutate on their own. They start out very docile, very easy to control, kind of like weird looking cow things. But then they start to mutate and turn against humanity, and they develop an insatiable flesh, or I'm sorry, an insatiable appetite for human flesh, because they are constantly evolving and changing themselves. So they need a constant food source to sustain themselves. If they feed on flesh, then they can break it down as a biofuel and use that to self-mutate, make themselves bigger, stronger, wings for flight, for instance, whatever they need to get the upper hand in battle. So they're this kind of super monsters that I've designed. And the heroes consist of Zathara, who is an alien hybrid who can form these crystal-like structures at will. She'll form in all kinds of different things, like blades on her arms, throwing daggers, large axes, whatever she needs in battle for the most part. And she can use it in other ways as well, but you'll mainly see her use it for weaponry. There she is with some blade arms she's formed. Actually, that point of view there is a Dread Fiend looking at her, so you're seeing how they see. And she also has these 3 slits on her eyes, on each eye. There you can see the 3 slits. And that gives her a 180 view, as well as allows her to focus on 3 targets at once. She's this kind of she's basically a born warrior. Her abilities have thrown her into that, but also the instances that happen in her life have pushed her down that path. She's been hunted most of her life by an organization called the Order of the Purging Hand, who's been trying to wipe her kind out for years. They believe anything not natural of Earth should be wiped out. Actually, that shot there over her ear, that's an interesting part because she actually has heightened hearing as well. So she's picking up on something that's happening behind her right there that I don't want to say too much unless we get too many spoilers away, but it's a pretty good, interesting part. Then there's also Soren, who's an exosuit pilot, and he fights in this exosuit called the Reaper, which is all kinds of awesome weaponry. Then there's also Strife, who's a big transforming AI mecha. And he's able to self-engineer. As long as he has the materials to make what he needs, he can do that. Make all kinds of different types of weaponry, namely guns, and like rocket launchers, that sort of thing. But also he can transform into different things. So he can turn to a ship mode to transport the team around in. He has a bombardment mode, for instance, which is this kind of crab mode with all kinds of guns on his back when he turns into that mode. So whereas he's very adaptive on a mechanical level, the Dread Fiends are very adaptive on a biological level. This issue gets into a big climactic battle at the beginning, actually a big epic battle between Zathara and that which you see in the background there on the cover. That's one of the Dread Fiends, but that's what I call the Super Dread Fiend for this situation, where at the end of the last issue, it's hard to avoid this going into it, but that is a bit of a spoiler at the end of the second one, but it does mutate. It turns into this new form, which in this issue you see here. And he's like really huge, and it's kind of like a big boss battle, if you will, for Zathara. So it's a big epic climactic battle with her and the Dread Fiend. Also in this issue, you get more of Lieutenant Vladik, which that's that guy right there, the weird looking cyborg. Lieutenant Vladik is Thrax's Prime's right-hand man. Thrax's Prime is this. He's a leader of in the recent years, in the current year, he is the leader of the Order of the Purging Hand. There's an incident that happens with him. We'll see in issue 4, where he gets all messed up, and the Order of Purging Hand decides to use him as this situation to turn him into a new weapon for them. So they use nanotech to turn him into a cyborg, and he learns how to adapt and use this nanotech to his advantage, where he can infect others and turn them into cyborgs as well. So he turns all of his soldiers into cyborgs, and against their will, actually. But he believes it's the best way to improve the Purging Hand, and he takes over the Purging Hand as well as a self-proclaimed leader. And so that's what happened to Vladik. He gets transformed, and now he's forced to do Thrax's Prime's bidding. And in this issue, he's trying to capture Zathara for his master and do whatever it takes to make that happen. We also get a big moment in this issue with Soren and Strife helping out Zathara, and there's a good you're getting the beginning of like them forming the team, them becoming the Crimson Flame, them meeting each other and realizing that they have common goals, and they develop eventually they go on this mission to save the world, stop the Dread Fiends, and also help Zathara deal with the Purging Hand. There's also going to be Gareth, who is an 8-foot tall swordsman. He comes in a little later. He has a giant transforming sword, as well as Nalaria, who is a fire-based mage, and her father Pagan, who is a plant-based mage. They also come in a little later. I'm not trying to give people too much all up front, but we're gradually going in. This is going to be an ongoing series. Right now, my estimate is as many as 50 issues, but it could be less. And yeah, I got Alex's eyes there. Got a lot of big ideas for the series. I got another major villain coming called Malakar. He's this dark entity who is made up of all the hatred and dark thoughts of mankind. He exists on another dimension. Well, he hates his own existence and he wants to wipe himself out. And he only believes the only way to do that is to end humanity. He uses Gabriel as his vessel. Gabriel is Nalaria's brother and pagan son. He uses him as his vessel to basically possess him to interact with our world. He becomes this very powerful dark sorcerer. He's actually, you'll find out eventually that he has like necromancer powers as well as he's a sword summoner. So he becomes this kind of ultimate being. He's basically like the Thanos, if you will, in the series, or the Darkseid, like we were talking about earlier. So I'm a big fan of these stories where the heroes are pushed to their absolute limits. In particular, like X-Men Age of Apocalypse is one of my most favorite storylines, where the X-Men are pushed to their absolute limits, having to deal with Apocalypse's army during that dark timeline. And the characters evolved and got better, but even some of them died and went through a lot of very tragic things. You'll experience that in the series where these characters are very much pushed to their absolute limits. And also, if you're a fan of Battle Chasers as well, that's one of my favorite comics. Even though it was a very short-lived comic, I wish there was more of that series, but it's a very cool, very stylish comic. So that's a big influence on this book, as well as the diverse characters in that team, where you had the big mecha guy and the little sorcerer dude and so forth. So also, I should say that, okay, so if you missed out on the first 2 issues, you can get them in this campaign. You can get all 3. There's 2 packages where you can get all 3 issues, either signed or unsigned. But you can also add on issue 1 or 2 in any of the physical packages, if you like, both physical and digital versions. It equals out to 84 pages so far, the series, if you get all 3. And I should also say, regardless of the campaign getting fully funded, everything ships out, everything gets fulfilled. I did that with the last 2 campaigns. Luckily, the second campaign, the last one did get overfunded, so that's awesome. But the first one didn't. I only made 3,000 or 4,000 something. I was asking for 6,000, but I still shipped out everything. And we're shooting for a May launch right now, or May shipment right now. The book's pretty close to being finished. Actually, I got page 23 today, and there's 30 pages in this issue. So pretty close to being finished. So I won't say it's set in stone that it's going to be May, that everything will ship out, but it's looking really good that it's going to be May. If not May, then it'll be early April.
A lot going on with this book.
I gotta admit,
Sometimes I think it's too much. I'm like, am I doing too much? And then people are like, no, I love it, keep going.
I gotta admit, when you first started pitching this, it sounded like a very, very, very kaiju-ish dark take on Soylent Green, but it's way evolved beyond that, and I'm very impressed.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun making the series. I'm having a blast. And like I said, there's so much more to come. I got so many big ideas. I cannot wait to get them. Big battles, big character moments. There's a lot of character growth coming. These first 3 issues do center a lot on action and moving the story along. But we're going to get a lot of really big, dramatic, dark moments. There's a lot of very good, dark, dramatic moments in issue 3. But I got a lot of really awesome plans for issue 4 as well. Big surprises. I love big surprises as well. So there's a lot of that in the series. And for those who are familiar with issue 1 and 2, issue 1 centers on Zathara's first run-in with the Dread Fiends, as well as it gets into her past when she first runs into the Order of the Purging Hand as well and has to deal with them. When she was a child, she was housed in this military facility called Lateralus. And in this military facility, these children are protected, but also studied their abilities. Some of them have abilities, some of them don't. There was a alien invasion that happened 19 years from when Zathara's. I'm sorry, 19 years from in the present time in the timeline, and the Zakaran, which is what Zathara is half of, they saved humanity from this other alien race called the Krikaran from being wiped out, and they befriended humanity, and things happened where humans started having sex with aliens, and you got these hybrid aliens that come out. Well, and Zakaran is one of them, but the Zakaran, they their homeworld had become under attack from the Zakaran after they tried to save humanity or humans, or the Earth, I should say. So they had to go and fight their world, their homeworld, and they didn't want to bring the children into the hybrid children into a war-torn world. So they left them behind, hoping or trusting that humanity would protect them. So the military took it under uh, their responsibility to protect these children. But the Order Purging Hand, like I said earlier, they hate them, want to wipe them out. So they infiltrate the facility and start killing the children, anyone that stands in their way that tries to stop them. Issue 2 gets into a very tense moment where Zathara has to save an innocent family from becoming a Dread Fiend's next meal. So it's a very it's a big race against time before the Dread Fiend gets to them, and it just devours them. And you get to see Zathara unleash some of her the other ways that she uses her abilities. And I should say too, in issue 3, you'll see her actually reveal another amazing power that she unlocks in herself. I'm a big fan of the story, like this, kind of like what I was saying with the X-Men, but I'm also a big fan of anime and manga where characters like Dragon Ball, for instance, evolve and get more powerful as they learn how to use their abilities and whatever weaponry they have to figure out different strategies and things. So you definitely see that in Chaotic Flux. Big surprises coming. Can't wait.
Question, if you don't mind me asking this from
No.
one creator to another. One thing I've noticed is like some people, like especially with a lot of like animes, that they tend to keep powering up to their characters to the point where like it seems like nothing can beat them, and they couldn't keep going. Do you have a plan to set limit to these powers?
Yes, there are limits, definitely. For instance, Zathara, she does get exhausted, and after she get those crystals, there's a limit to how much of that she can do. As well as in the case of Soren, he has limitations of his exosuit, and Strife, if he runs out of ammunition, if he runs out of parts to adapt in the battlefield or whatever, that's a limitation, for instance. And the Dread Fiends, they also have some limitations as well. There's only so much strain that their body can take when they mutate, and they actually only live. Well, I should say every time they regenerate, which they regenerate for when they devour something, they can also break that down and turn it to a clone of themselves, regurgitate that, and then it quickly grows into basically an offspring. I mean, it's a clone, but it quickly grows into a normal size. And every new generation is a little better than the last one, a little better, a little smarter, a little stronger, a little smarter, and can live a little longer. The first generation of Dread Fiend only lives for like a few days, but the next one lives a little longer, and so forth and so forth. So that's going to grow through the series as well, and you'll see them like adapt in new and interesting ways. I got, for instance, I don't think it's going to be too big of a spoiler, but I have plans for this kind of queen-like Dread Fiend that we eventually find. We find this hive of Dread Fiends where there's one particular Dread Fiend she's concentrated all of her. Well, they don't really have a male or a gender, I should say, but you can think of her as like a queen. She dedicates all of her biofuel into her mind, or its mind. I keep saying her, its mind, and becomes very intelligent and uses that to come up with strategies to lead her hive to be this very smart, very adaptive hive of Dread Fiends that makes it very difficult for our heroes to deal with. So there's a lot of fun, playing with these different elements of limitations, but also, taking things further and seeing what happens. You know, I can't say too much. I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but yeah, a lot of potential, I think.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I've got the first two.
Mhm.
I actually really
Me
enjoy
too.
the book, and
Awesome.
before I have personal questions. So
Mhm.
I've got the collector's editions ones with the
Mhm.
metal.
Mhm.
Where's that at?
So
it this
this one,
featured
that's a
one?
good point. This one actually has 3 metallic covers to choose from.
Oh wow.
I could have done this sooner, but the idea didn't come to me until this campaign. Really, I think I've been thinking in threes a lot since I've started making this book because issue 3. So
Mhm.
I decided to do 3 metallic versions in this one. So you get the standard version, very similar to what you got in the last 2 campaigns. So metallic cover with well, actually, I did it different for the last one. The last one, you have this iridescent. Remember that, Chris, the iridescent effect. So when you move it in the light, it changes color.
Mhm.
The same will happen with this campaign. You get a version of metallic like that, but then there's also a excuse me, a virgin edition. So it's just the artwork, no logo, no anything on it, just the artwork on the cover in metallic. And there's also a metallic line art edition. So it's just the line art with a silver background. And I haven't got it printed yet, but I think that's going to look amazing with that metallic. I mean, with that iridescent over the silver and the line art. That's one reason why I would do that one. In my mind, I think it's going to look awesome, and I don't see why one has just how good the regular edition turned out metallic
I was
iridescent.
gonna say, sounds like somebody that couldn't make his mind and just making us decide.
That's weird.
Couldn't help it, dude.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh man.
So yeah, go
But
back. Get me. I have issue 2 and 1 and 2 as well, and I backed this
Mhm.
on day 1.
Oh, okay.
Yep, you sure did, buddy. Yep, I appreciate that.
Gargoyle said Hired Gun is it's the upcoming Warhammer game. It looks like they copy and pasted Sim's character Vincent.
Hmm.
That's that Necromunda game, yeah, the first person shooter.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I do like the trailer on that one.
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched the trailer yet.
It's a very I guess
It's a
I
shoot 'em
kind of
up.
think of like Mad Max mixed with Doom styling
Yeah.
to it.
I'm very
Very
interested in it.
grungy, but
Yeah, Necromunda's got that kind of wild style going on.
mhm.
I checked quickly. The only character I saw was it looks like a mix of Nat and Vincent.
I have to go back and watch it now.
It's just like I googled it and I saw the cover and I'm like,
Really?
Huh.
Huh.
Only $10 to get it unsigned.
Mm-hmm.
So if you strap for cash, 15 for the signed version.
Mm-hmm. And so that's where you first get to the metallic variants. When you click on the, if you want to buy, or, if you want to buy it, then there's I'm new to this as far as Indiegogo goes, where I didn't know you can do this until I started doing this campaign. When you click on like you're going to buy it, you can choose. Then there's a drop down little window that comes where you can pick which variant you want, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's unsigned for 20, or your choice of variant. And then there is all 3 issues unsigned for 24. Remember, that's 84 pages of story for $24. So it's a pretty good deal.
That's pretty good.
And if you're ordering the US, shipping's $5, if I remember right, on that one. So pretty cheap. I can't remember what international was. I want to say it's like $12 for international, which is still, I don't think, too bad. And again, signed version of metallic of your choice, $25. So in this one, you get regular edition of the book. You get two standard edition trading cards. That's a trading card of the Super Dread Fiend, and as well as Lieutenant Bladdock for this one. I did villains for this one, and then also a metallic art, or not? I keep saying metallic. A standard version art print, which is actually the cover art. It's art print of the cover art, a 6x10. That one you can get both covers, so you get their standard edition, and you get your choice of metallic cover, both signed, and the PDF. Forget to mention the PDF. Some of these packages do have the PDF in them. So that one you get to choose your metallic cover. You get metallic trading cards, so metallic versions of the two trading cards, or metallic art, also metallic art print. And the metallic art print is going to be different than the standard art print. I haven't decided yet on the artwork. What I usually do is I wait till all the artwork comes in for the book, and then I pick a really nice piece for that. So a little bit longer on before I reveal what that one is, but it's going to be awesome. I'm going to pick a really good one. I think the last one was pretty cool. You got that one, Chris, with the 3 panels with Zara slashing the Dreadfiend tentacles in metallic. Yeah. So this one again, all 3 signed for $37. And this one, if you can't decide which metallic cover you want, it's okay. You get all 3 of them and the PDF for $60.
Okay. All out
So,
chaos.
yeah. So something new I did for this campaign. I did a face mask because the whole COVID thing and whatnot. But they turned out really cool. Actually, I got the I guess you could say the proof copy here. So you got the Metallic Flux logo there, and then you got the Dread Fiends on the side there, and it's Zara facing off against some of the Lightning Storm. This is actually from the first issue. And it's a very high quality face mask. I think it turned out great. It's even got the little bendy nose thing where you can form it around your nose. And it's got the adjustable straps. So pretty high quality. I'm very pleased with how this turned out. And then you get regular cover, your choice of metallic cover, both signed. Both the metallic and non-metallic trading cards, so 4 trading cards total, and then the metallic art print, the non-metallic art print, and of course the face mask.
All right. And the T-shirt edition.
So this one, same thing, all the stuff that I just named, except you also get the T-shirt, which I have right here. So it is the cover art of the T-shirt, or of the book on the T-shirt there, with metallic, or with the Cat Flux logo.
All right, and then yet again with the hat,
which I'm also wearing. So everything I just mentioned, the trading cards, 4 trading cards, metallic and non-metallic art print, your choice metallic cover, and the non-metallic version, both signed, and the baseball cap with logo and Sora in his exosuit jumping at you.
and Chaotic Flux Light.
So this one you get signed version of the regular edition of issue 3, PDF, the hat, the mask, and the T-shirt, all in one package.
Metallic overlay.
Yep.
There's a lot of perks.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the reasons why I did all these perks is because I wanted to give people a lot of options and flexibility. I was one of the things where with the last couple campaigns or last 2 campaigns, people were a little upset with not being able to have that much flexibility. For instance, the T-shirt was locked in the top tier and nowhere else. Well, this time I decided to give more options. For instance, we have more tiers with them in there. But also, I should mention this earlier, but if you want to get just the issue 3, and you will get the hat, you can add it on. If you want to get the T-shirt, you can add it on. If you want to get the face mask, you can add it on, or all 3 of them, however you want to do it. So you don't have to get like top tier, one of the high tiers, just to get one of those items. Just like you can add on issue 1 and 2 if you want. And there's also a variant T-shirt this time. It's a white T-shirt with the line art on the front. done in a penciled style, so it looks like the artist penciled it on your shirt. And you can only get that as an add-on item.
Okay.
That sounds pretty cool.
So, huh?
That sounds pretty cool.
Thanks, buddy.
Instead
I
of
thought it was pretty cool too. And I was like, oh, that's a fun idea. But the metallic overload, so it's everything that you can get in the campaign that's metallic. So it's all 3 covers, both trading cards are metallic, and the art print and the PDF. So this one is like similar earlier, where you get the hat mask T-shirt, but you also get your choice of metallic cover.
could I'm curious, could instead of having all these perks, could you have
Mhm.
just had a bunch of add-ons and then just let people customize it
Yeah,
that
like I
way?
said, you can do that. Yeah, that's also in here. But I also gave this to people who, like, let's say they want to get one of the packages, but they also want to get like their friend or their brother or girlfriend or sister or whatever another one of the items. They can do that as well. So this one is everything I've already named except for that white T-shirt variant, and you have to choose your metallic cover. But it's all the trading cards, all the art prints, the PDF, the mask, the hat, the T-shirt, all in one package. And then we're almost there, almost at the end. So, like the title says, all or nothing. So everything you can get in this campaign, as far as the Chaotic Flux items, except for that white T-shirt. It's an add-on that you have to add that one on, but everything else is in here. So all 3 metallic covers, trading cards, art prints, all of it.
We got commission art.
Yeah, I asked my artist Brian Volando if he would like to do some commissions for this campaign. He said sure. So, excuse me. So he will draw you any cartoon or comic book character of your choice, penciled, not digital. So it's an original print that he will, or not original print, an original drawing that he will do for you and sign and ship to you. And it's $250, but that includes shipping. Shipping is not on top of that. And there's 2 of those that you can get in this campaign.
Second one, all right.
Yeah, I tried. I did that late at the beginning, and then I was like, wait, I should have just done that, like, I mean, quantity 2. But now for
Yeah.
some reason, Indiegogo won't let me change it. I don't know what's going on, so I just left it like that.
Huh.
I mean, I have any choice, so.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. One of the reasons I haven't backed it yet, and one of the reasons was because of all the perks. I didn't know which one was like the collector one,
Mm.
the one that I
Right.
got before with the medal. I was like,
Right, I got you.
There's so many
you
of them.
know, that first one, that's that one right there that gets you both the metallic and non-metallic. Oh, are you saying you just want the metal version, or you want the other versions too? The non-metallic, I should say.
I don't know.
The last package, did you get 2 issues, like one metallic and one regular?
I got the collector's one.
Right. So you would that
And
one
the
right there, the
second
collector's
one.
package where you get
Yeah, I got the metal stuff.
Right.
And I didn't know there was so many of them. I'm like, well, which one is the one that I want? I don't know. There's so many
That made me
metal,
feel bad, like
not metal. I was so confused. I'll figure it out.
I think it's the one.
Yeah, this will probably be the one I end up getting here. This one. But how many days we got left? We got 12. All right. And have you extended?
Not yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, good.
I am looking at extending, if we don't want to go. But like I said too, even if I extend it and I still have to go, everything goes out. Everything ships out. But I'm pretty sure that one way or the other, I think we're gonna get it. At least hope so anyway. I'm gonna keep chugging along.
So get on it. Don't wait till the last minute.
Oh, you mean do the extension?
No, I'm talking to people in the chat.
Oh, right. Yeah, you guys. Oh man.
So Chris, buddy, we passed the 1 hour.
Oh, have we?
Yep. It's 11:20.
Yeah, I gotta figure out which one I'm gonna get.
Stop shopping on stream.
Yes. Did we play? We didn't play the trailer, did we?
Yeah.
I don't think. Nope.
I'm gonna play it.
The Independent Sci-Fi Saga Chaotic Flux continues to issue retreat relentless. Drawn and colored by Brian Milano and Brian McKnight. Written by Scott Payne and lettered by Janelle Brewer. Relentless to divide from where we left off. The Thar must give it her all like you've never seen before to become this titan of humanity. Well, it could prove to be a bigger problem for a young heroine, is Lieutenant Vlad. As he waits for the right moment to capture the dog, for his twisted cyborg overlord, Thrax's Pride, Sword, Strike, and Zathar unite for the first time in the gaming super team, the Crimson Flame. Plus, a bloody showdown in Lateralus. All this and more packed in 30 pages of relentless sci-fi action and suspense. Don't miss out on Cat Flux number 3, Relentless.
Oh, sweet. And where is it? This here. When I seen this first, I thought of like bumper
G.I.
cars
Joe.
with a big cannon.
He reminded me of G.I. Joe. What was the dreadnoughts? The dreadnoughts
Right?
was in it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have those. Yeah, that similar design. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's actually a little bit of Akira's. I mean not Akira. Kaneda's bike is a little influence there on that. But yeah, I wanted this kind of like red blood red metal effect to it. So that's what
Like,
the guys give me.
it looks small. And it
Yeah.
looks like a little bumper car with like a cannon.
Right.
He's like smiling. He's so happy.
Yeah, I love it, man. And like he's got the crazy rockets in the back. So like, so it has that kind of. I think it has that aesthetic where like it's kind of, I guess you could say, makeshift military, but it's powerful, but yet you don't know how reliable it is.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of my design for the Over the Purging Hand in the present time as cyborgs. Like you look at, I mean, Lieutenant Black himself, he looks like he just pieced together with things, especially with his missing nose and like he's kind of zombie-ish looking. So yeah, you'll see that run throughout their design. You actually see his ship, his attack ship or whatever, his blind ship in this. And it too looks like it has a really cool, sleek design, but at the same time, it also looks like stuff just pieced together.
And there he is, a little bit closer version of him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Looking wicked.
Pops is yelling at Mark. Horror Radio says, I just got here. You've been streaming for 69 minutes. Nice.
Yeah, 69 follows me everywhere.
All right. And
He's that lucky of a guy.
see.
You know, the fun fact is it's also the first story I ever wrote of Nat. The name of the story was Planet 69. I was
Really?
looking for a black market, like a cool black market name, where you'd
That's
have
awesome.
like all types of and I'm like Planet 69.
So
That's very cool.
I guess this is the fella that
Yeah.
El Gargoyle's talking about
Hmm.
from Necromunda.
Like I looked at him at first, I'm like, it kind of looks like a mix of Vincent and Nat. And then I'm like, dude, it's a gender swap of Rose.
Of who?
Rose from she has the fucking the skull on the left arm with the big left metallic arm in the Natverse, the pirate chick, and she also has one missing eye. Look, I'll show you.
I
I just have.
I hope you're able to utilize the dog really well in the game.
Just cyber.
So yeah, I just
like
have to share
pets
my
and
screensaver. You'll see her.
Okay, hold on.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy, man. So he has the skull, right, as a belt buckle. So does she.
Yeah,
Just like the shoulder pad.
on the
belt
shoulder
buckle.
pad there. Yeah.
Yep. That's funny.
And the reason why she has the black boob with the skull is because she only has one boob. That's a cybernetic boob. Yeah.
Nice. Got a match. Got a matching pair. Even if it
It's
hasn't cybernetic.
It's part of her story. She was dying from cancer. And her
Oh,
dad was
really?
trying. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool. I mean, not cool that she's dying to cancer, but interesting character, arc there development.
The first time I came up with her, it was for breast cancer fundraiser. I was doing cons as an artist and stuff like that, and I'm like,
Hmm.
I decided to create one character with a print, and the money was going to the breast cancer. And
Wow.
it's also when the feminists really started hating my guts.
Hell of the irony.
They didn't like the fact that I was doing. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I raised money for it. Let's go.
Radio says it is yours and Dave's favorite pastime when you're alone with each other. I assume he's referring to 69 there, Sam.
Yeah, that's what he dreams.
Well, we all gotta have a fantasy.
Yeah, I know, and I don't mind if you fantasize about me. Just don't touch me.
You're like a
Gosh, like,
stripper.
what's going on?
I know he's a friend of mine.
Huh? No, I'm talking about Alex. He's like, oh, God.
Dude, I'm thinking he's getting the idea why it's called evening roast and our shows are called morning roast. We all roast each other.
I get it. I get it. It's just my mind was somewhere else about something.
You got to think about 69.
Hmm. You know what's the funny part about 69? It's also a yin yang.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So apparently he's been setting up cameras.
Gonna have to talk to Dave.
He's tapping in your webcams.
Dave's got an
I'll
OnlyFans
answer
set
one
up.
these days.
Explains where all the money's coming from.
Dave's OnlyFans. Oh lordy.
Now I understand why he's talking about a new computer.
He's doing Twitch. He's doing like exercises on Twitch and being like, be a tier 1 sub. Help me get my computer. Oh my. But yes, everybody, please do go check out Zener and Chaotic Flux number 3. We're past that hour mark. So I guess we should start to wrap it up, I suppose.
Yep. So don't forget to sub, like, subscribe, and like I said before, 500 gives you a chance of winning original art, and 1,000 sub makes
Very awesome.
Chris Sugar run in a red dress.
Whether I like it or not.
And the worst thing, it was his idea.
It wasn't necessarily my idea. It was Pale Riders. He's the one who brought up the red dress run. I didn't even know it existed.
And you looked at it and goes, "Oh, I could do that."
All right, guys, enough of the red dress.
All right,
It will never
so-
end
No, it won't.
until he does it. Well, even then, after he does it, be like, oh, you got to do it again.
Yeah, they'll find up some new reason to keep it going.
That's
Yeah.
gonna die after you run.
Or radio says, "Be right back, making 800 old accounts."
Got to support his boy.
Well, I guess that's
Boys,
one
I should
way.
say.
I guess. Alrighty, so closing statements, Mr. Scott Payne. What would you like to say at the end?
Where can people
I would like
find
to
you?
say- Oh, well, you can find me, Flux Chaotic on Twitter. Let's see, on Instagram, I'm Chaotic Flux 1. And you can also go to the Sharp Edge Comics website. That's where I have, that's my domain on the internet right now. Where, my website. So Sharp Edge Comics is my brand that like behind me right now. So Sharp Edge Comics. So that's what my property is going to be under. And you can go there to see more on Chaotic Flux, like character bios and weaponry diagrams, as well as more trailers from the other 2 issues and more page previews as well. You can also sign up for the mailing list on there too. That's actually the best way to keep up to date on all things Sharp Edge Comics, especially Chaotic Flux. That's my main project right now. I do have something pretty cool coming hopefully this year as well. Beyond Chaotic Flux. I'll just tell you guys that it's going to be called Berserker Samurai. Main influences are Berserker, Spawn, and Ninja Scroll. So if you're fans of those, it's a big, badass, epic story that I have in the works. But hopefully this year I can get the campaign going. But we'll see. I still got to start on the script, so one step at a time. Right now I'm designing the logo, and I'll reveal that soon. But yeah, big plans in the future.
Alrighty. Mr. Alex Dawe.
Well, Xener Master of the Mind is funding on Indiegogo right now, and there are only 8 days left, so we can appreciate support. So donate, share, do whatever you need to help make this campaign happen. You can find Energy Comics on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, DeviantArt, and our own website, nrg-comics.com. And we would just love for you to give us a follow. We will support your work as you support ours. Thank you. You guys have been awesome.
And before we leave, Sugar, I'd like to remind people, check out Tales from the Adverse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to point out the comment of Mark that red dress is going to haunt you forever, Chris. And horror radio adding to it forever.
Has
And
anyone
haven't been
photoshopped Chris in a dress yet? 'Cause I didn't see that. Just like one way or the other, we're gonna see him in a dress.
I'm gonna.
There's some lucky Mexicans back a while back that had the luck. So shall we?
I'm gonna be old, and when I pass on, it's gonna be on my gravestone. He looked good in a dress.
He rubbed that red dress.
Woo!
Love it. Oh man.
Alrighty, everybody. I'm gonna wrap this one up. I'm really tired feeling for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, must be the lack of caffeine, I guess.
Your body's still adjusting.
But anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks everybody in the chat.
Thank you
Love
so
all
much.
of you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us, Mr.
Yeah,
Alex
right.
and Scott.
Thank you
Thanks
for having me.
guys. It's been a pleasure.
Mhm.
And don't forget
Yeah.
to go watch the Snyder Cut and read Meta Barons.
Gosh dang it, Sim. Really? Really?
Zing!
Jabs in there.
Get in my Snyder cut. Later, everybody.
Later.